You decide to build a tower to space. No fancy carbon nanotubes, no space elevators, just standard red clay bricks and mortar. You start stacking. The first few levels are easy, the view is nice, then the true scale of the ambition starts to set in. Logistics become a nightmare. Millions of bricks are required, entire countries are stripped of clay. The construction site covers 3 states. Thousands of stickmen work in shifts. The tower grows, it passes the clouds, it enters the stratosphere, the air gets thin, oxygen becomes a luxury. Workers start fainting, mortar begins to freeze. Structural integrity is now a genuine concern, but the ambition remains. Space is the goal, just a few more miles to go. Physics enters the chat, every brick adds weight. The bricks at the bottom carry the entire load. Red clay bricks have a limit, this is called compressive strength. Eventually the pressure at the base exceeds the strength of the material. The bottom layer of bricks doesn't just crack, they undergo a phase transition. The pressure is so intense that the bricks liquefy, they turn into a hot, glowing slurry of ceramic paste. The tower doesn't just tilt, it sinks into itself. The weight of the upper miles crushes the lower miles into a dense, artificial, brick-based geological feature. You try to fix this. You decide to build a wider base. A pyramid shape should work. Now you need more bricks, a lot more. The amount of clay required now exceeds the total amount of crust on the entire planet Earth. This is inconvenient. Assuming you find a second planet to mine for clay, the base becomes astronomical. The tower is now wider than the Atlantic Ocean. The sheer mass starts to warp spacetime. Local gravity increases. The tower begins to pull nearby satellites out of orbit. They slam into the side of the structure like metallic flies. The friction of these impacts generates immense heat. The bricks start to glow. Thermal expansion kicks in. The tower begins to heave and buckle. Huge slabs of ceramic slide off the sides. These falling chunks are the size of Manhattan. They accelerate to terminal velocity. When they hit the ground, they create craters that swallow entire cities. The project is no longer about space. It is now a global extinction event caused by extremely heavy masonry. The atmosphere is filled with a thick, choking haze of red brick dust. Visibility drops to 0. The sun is blocked out. It is now a permanent, dusty autumn for everyone remaining on the surface. The tower finally reaches the exosphere. Now the Earth's rotation becomes a problem. The top of the tower is moving thousands of miles per hour. Centrifugal force tries to fling the tower into the void. The structure begins to lean. This is not a gentle tilt. It is a slow-motion collapse of an artificial continent. The center of gravity shifts. The tower begins to whip. A wave of kinetic energy travels down the length of the structure. This is a mechanical failure on a planetary scale. The bricks are no longer bricks, they are high-velocity projectiles. The tower snaps. The top half of the structure begins to fall back to Earth. This is a massive amount of mass falling from orbit. The impact energy is calculated in gigatons. The crust of the Earth ripples like a blanket. Shockwaves travel through the mantle. The ocean boils instantly. Tectonic plates shift. New volcanoes erupt from the sheer stress. The tower has successfully terraformed the Earth into a scorched, red wasteland. The dream of space is over. The reality of gravity has won. The final collapse is total. The remaining debris rains down in a global firestorm. Every single brick that didn't vaporize on impact becomes a kinetic weapon. The atmosphere is superheated by the friction of falling rubble. The sky turns a brilliant, incandescent white. The oceans evaporate. The land is scorched. The Earth's rotation actually slows down slightly due to the redistribution of mass. A new ring of brick dust forms around the planet. From a distance, the Earth now looks like a very small, very red Saturn. The survivors, if any, are living in deep bunkers. They spend their days wondering why someone thought clay bricks were a viable aerospace material. The laws of physics are indifferent to human ambition. They only care about stress, strain, and the relentless pull of gravity. The tower is gone. The civilization is gone. All that remains is a sphere of hot glass and crushed ceramic. The planetary surface is now a smooth, featureless plane of fused silica. The geological record will show a strange, thin layer of red clay across every single continent. It is the most expensive, most unnecessary mistake in the entire history of the known universe. Mathematically, the project was doomed from the first brick. The strength-to-weight ratio of clay is pathetic. To reach space, you would need a base larger than the planet itself. You would have had to build a second Earth out of bricks just to support the first tower. The resulting mass would have collapsed into a black hole. You didn't just fail to build a tower, you nearly accidentally triggered a gravitational singularity. That is generally considered a severe breach of international safety protocols. Despite the planetary annihilation, there is one remaining issue. The zoning board of the original construction site has issued a citation. You failed to obtain a permit for a structure exceeding 30 feet. The fine is $50. Please pay it by the end of the month. The universe is a dangerous place for masonry. Subscribe to the What If Club to see what happens when we try to build a bridge to the sun. See you there.